7-yard line. Jeff, this is a type of break that we were talking about. Yoakum has it. First down and 10. The injured Bulldog, he's back up on the sidelines. He was the young man that made the fair catch and then was just blasted. I mean, that was the pancake of the year so far. First and 10 for the Yoakum Bulldogs. 8:14 left in the ball game. Schulenburg up by 20. Draw to Douglas. Nice play, Jared Schromick. Held his ground and lit him up, and now flags go down, and we may have an unsportsmanlike. Well, the emotions are flaring just a little bit by both sides. Dead ball, personal foul, Schulenburg. Well, you got to keep your head. You've got to keep your head.
Yoakum's a good team already. You don't need to give them anything. They're going to get what they got. You can't give them anything. These foolish penalties are going to end up hurting Schulenburg in the long run.
Well, it takes the ball up to the 35. Well, actually, it's further than that. Takes it up to the 32. First down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Clock runs inside 8 minutes left to go in a wild one. Of course, when the Dogs and the Horns get together, it's always wild. Warren wants to throw. Throws it deep. Has a man, but he overthrew him. That's Dustin Thompson. He overthrew him. The ball goes back to the 31. First down and, or makes it second down. Jeff, you were watching the line. You saw something that didn't appear to be right.
On the Schulenburg sideline, the Yoakum receiver never got set, and right in front of the referee, and I'm sure Coach Usman and the rest of the staff let him know that would, no flag, no harm, I guess.
Incomplete pass. We'll take it. Second and 10, 31-yard line. Hand it to Douglas, looking for the outside. Now spins back. And Schromick with a big hit. Gain of 1. Well, now they'll mark it and give him forward approximately about the 28. Schromick is playing a great game tonight. Up to about the 29. A gain of 2 for Douglas. And now it's third down. 3rd and 8. 7:20 left. The clock in the Horns' favor, leading at 26-6. Very tight first half. Boy, but this second half has just been wide open. 3rd and 8. Fumble. Ball is loose. Ball is kicked. Ball is out here. It's going to be recovered by the Bulldogs, but after a big loss. Douglas covered it up. Brian Valenzuela right on him. And now it brings up a 4th down call. Brings up 4th down. 4th down and a long 15 to go for the Bulldogs. They've got to go for it. They trailed this one by 20 points with 6:35 left against the #1 ranked team in a classification that's lower than them. And they're playing in front of a homecoming crowd. They got to go. 4th down and long. Here comes the rush. Here's a pass over the middle. Intercepted. Intercepted by Joe Moore. On the way to the 25. Joe needs to be talked to about that. You can't be stealing the ball like that. He picked his pocket, Jeff.
It's called simultaneous contact. Simultaneous possession. Fight for it. Who gets it's going to get the interception.
Or
the reception, should I say that.
Another break for the Horns. Another turnover by the Bulldogs. And their lights are getting dim with 6:17 left. You can see it in their faces. The fight, the raw is kind of leaving them now with 20 points down with 6:15 left.
Well, it's been a long, hard-fought, physical game in the trenches. I'm sure these linemen at both teams are going to sleep excellent tonight if they don't catch cramps all the way home. Cool night, that could happen, cramps. We haven't seen that all year. That's been a real testimony to both these staffs that you don't see cramps. That's a sign of good conditioning. Both teams are still moving real excellent in the 4th quarter.
It will be Sarton, the quarterback, handing it off. Bradley Wright gets up to about the 27. Short gain of 2, and it brings us up 2nd down. One thing Coach Usman's doing here, he's saying, hey, we've got a 20-point lead. I'm going to work on this clock. I'm going to get some time off of this clock and make it impossible for Yoakum to come back on a late comeback. 2nd and 8, 5:50 left. Sure, one thing he's told Steven Sarton is, Steven, take as much time as you can in the huddle without being penalized. Yoakum has got almost everybody within 5 yards of the football. Offensive lineman jumps on the right side. Was it the Timon? Okay, it will bring up a second down and a penalty marked off, second now and 13. Instead of second and 8, it will be second and 13. So the clock will stop. They will set the football, and then we'll get it in motion. There it goes. 5.5 left. Coming up Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock, the Schulenburg Shorthorns will be in Houston against the Houston Wheatley Class 4A school. Final pre-district tune-up. And like I said, Jeff, earlier, we don't know what to expect when you go down there. Tell you one thing, though, these guys are getting all they want right here tonight. Second and long. Sarton wants to throw. Caught by Mark. He's got some running room on his feet, and a flag goes down. Face mask is going to be the call. Give it to Mark. He takes it up from the 22 to the 40. That's a 41. That's a 19-yard catch and run.
An excellent fake by Sarton. Everybody thought the ball was to the fullback. I don't know about you, but I thought he had the fullback with a minimal gain. A quick hitter. Tight end slipped out in the flats. Nice play. Add on the extra 5 yards or so for the face mask. A nice gain for Schulenburg.
So it's a 19-yard catch and run for Mark. And it will take the ball up to the 45-yard line. The Shorthorn faithful wanted an aggressive 15-yard penalty.
Well, he didn't drag him down by it. He let go on the way down. That's a good play. It's a mistake by the player. He didn't intentionally grab the face mask. As Mark was going by, he made a diving grab on him and just happened to get it. Good call by the referees. I agree with the call wholeheartedly.
First and 10 Horns. Shorthorn faithful want him to go. Ball's at the 45-yard line, up by 20. Here's a draw to Jason Houston. He gets a block from Mark. 40, 35, 30. High step. See you later. Bye-bye. You mess with him long enough, he's gone. 55 yards for the All-State Blue Chipper. Well, they let the Dogs out earlier tonight, and now the Dogs are under the porch. It's now 32-6. Schulenburg.
Well, that took him up to 136 yards on a great defense. You got to look at this defense, and this is by far the best defense we've faced this year. The stands are looking like they're starting to empty in Yoakum here. Excellent run by Houston. One stutter step to the right, and he was off to the races. Once he gets in the open, almost impossible to catch him. Excellent call by Houston. A draw up the middle, not testing the long play or expecting a big play out of it, but you don't tell him to slow down and not take it.
Well, you said that, Jason was bottled up for just 80 yards and say, we'll get the football back. We did. He scored. Shepard to add the extra point. This one is up, and it's going to be good. So 4:29 left, football game here in Yoakum. It's all Horns, 33-6. So at 4:29 left, as we said, Jeff, we had talked earlier about bottling the mad dog up is like a bear being poked at by little kids. When you let them out, they normally get mauled, and Jason is doing that tonight, and the Shorthorns are doing that too. Their offense was bottled up, and I think they just got frustrated, and man said, hey, you may be shutting us down, but we're fixing to come up and cram it down your throat, and that's what they've done.
Well, it's a testimony to Jason. Not giving up. He was the first half, the 30-something yards in the first half. That's unheard of in his game. I guess he decided, told the line, hey, look, we're going to make a difference in this game.
Regulators took over. The wide receivers made the big catches, and Sarton put it on the money. Here's another short kick. They're trying it. Fair catch is being called for and made by Michael Warren. So it may have been planned earlier, Jeff.
Well, you don't want the big run back. That's a good chance for just to keep the ball safe and not the big play. Let this clock run. Let's get out of here.
Schulenburg on top, 33-6. We were in a very tight ball game. I've got to write down Houston's score here with 4:29 left. Houston with 3 touchdowns tonight. There's a pitch to Douglas. He's got some room. Gets a block. He could go all the way. 40, 35, going to be caught from behind by the headhunter, Chad Ginnert. He's all over the field. They take it to the 25. It goes from the 38. 37-yard gain. And that young man has got over 200 yards, Jeff.
209 yards. Nobody's done that on Schulenburg. Nobody's broke 100 total this year. Excuse me, the boy from Rice did. I'm sorry. Excellent effort here. This is on the first-team defense. We're not talking about the second-team defense.
First and 10, Dogs still have a little fight left in them with 4:05 left to go. Pitch it, Douglas. Caught in the backfield. Ball is fumbled. Ball is loose. Schulenburg has it. Turn out the lights. Who else?
Well,
Chad Ginnert.
Chad Ginnert, the headhunter. He's everywhere. I've talked to a few Yoakum people earlier. They had some problem with their hands of their running backs, possibly some cracked bones, broken bones. I expected it earlier, but lately here, there has been the fumbles, and I can attribute that to the hand problem, possibly. The hit was excellent. The hit in the backfield, possibly just a good hit with the hand and knocked the ball out.
Well, you know, in the games that they have been in, the turnovers have literally just killed the Bulldogs all season long, and they're doing that here again tonight. Todd Anders comes in. Jason Houston goes out. Jeff, we have probably seen the end of Jason's night tonight, and what a night. 3 more touchdowns. Unbelievable. First down and 10. Hand it to Todd Anders. Anders up to the 27-yard line. A short gain. An outstanding outing for the Shorthorns again tonight. It was a close ball game. People are going to see this score and say, man, typical Schulenburg. But Yoakum has had an outstanding effort tonight. Take away some of the big plays, and it's a real close ball game. But that's why you play for 48 minutes.
Exactly. It's on a new. Schulenburg doesn't play it as an out-of-town turf anymore. They feel at home everywhere. It seems like every week. A little sluggish in a few games earlier in the year, but seem to be coming together fine now.
2nd and 8 for the Horns. Sarton still in at quarterback. Will turn and give it to Anders. Anders takes it up for a couple of more. And now that brings up a 3rd down, but the clock is rolling inside of 3 minutes left. The Horns will move to 4-0. Yoakum will drop to 1-3. And Schulenburg will get ready for a Saturday afternoon game this coming Saturday at 3 o'clock. Delmar Stadium, that's Loop 610 and Highway 290, a big complex out there. And it's a 3 o'clock game. We'll have it for you next Tuesday night at 7 o'clock here on Channel 16. The Horns against Houston Wheatley on Saturday afternoon, the final pre-district game. 3rd and 7 for the Horns. Sarton taking as much time off the clock as possible, and he almost got it off, but the flag got him, and that's going to be too much time. Very close. He just didn't get it off.
Well, a little more practice on that. We haven't been in this situation too much where you still have some starters in there, and they're looking just to run this clock out. I'm sure he just cut it a little too close. We don't have a 25-second clock like you do in college and the pros to look at, so a chance there cost you 5.
Well, with a 27-point lead and 2:15 left in the ball game, I think that's okay. Sarton will go to the sidelines now to get the play. Oh, no, it will be Moore to bring him in. Okay. Joseph Moore will bring in the play. That was Schrammich who went out. Moore came in. Split backfields, receivers to either side. Sarton's going to throw. Jackson has it and then dropped it and gets waylaid. Throwing the quick screen. Now it's going to bring up the quick slant. It brings up 4th down and punt time for the Schulenburg Shorthorns. 4th down and 11. Back at the 23-yard line. It took a while to get them kick-started, Jeff, but overall the Horns will probably be pleased with their performance, with the exception of some of those penalties that were unnecessary.
Well, you have to look at it. If you don't have any penalties, maybe you're not aggressive enough. A few penalties, you can live with it. I don't see. He's going to get on them. I'm sure that those unsportsmanlike conduct penalties and the legal man downfield, that looked like pretty much a judgment call.
Here's a snap, and the ball is partially tipped. It may have been blocked. It's going to be a loose football, and it's going to be down at the 35-yard line. 1st down and 10. So it's 1st and 10 for the Yoakum Bulldogs. This could be their last hurrah with 1:42 left. Not a very happy homecoming. 2 homecomings in a row that Schulenburg has felt good about. They won theirs last week against a tough Manor team, and they're going to win this one. They're going to spoil Yoakum's here tonight.
Well, a lot of credit goes to this offense, offensive line. Yoakum holding teams to 150 yards a game. We have over 300 already, doubling their normal output. Outstanding effort.
Warren, the quarterback, gives it to Douglas. Cuts his way up. Schramek put a hand around him. And then he's going to be brought down. Paul Garza appears in on that tackle for the Shorthorns. Number 70, Paul Garza, is a 220-pound junior. Second down and 5. Warren wants to throw, throws it out. The ball is caught. Man cuts it inside of the field, and it gets met and then wrapped up and dropped down right there. The hit by 61, Chad Kennard. I shouldn't even have to look down when I say 61. You know it's the headhunter. Third down and 1, and now a timeout call. Timeout call by the Bulldogs. We have 1 minute left to go in this football game. I'm Kevin Fishbeck, along with Jeff Proschke and Greg Yola on film. Ball game brought to you by Holas Duncan Insurance Agency. Hugo Holas in Schulenburg. Carl Duncan in Weimer. Frank's Restaurant management and personnel say good luck, Horns. Chuck Brown for Double B Foods Incorporated. Bubba and Karen Dagan. Don Blanchett in Schulenburg Tires. Alfredo and Mildred Valenzuela. Final 60 seconds, Jeff.
Yoakum hadn't given up. They're still trying to get that final score. If it's not just for pride, they're playing against the #1 team, and they want to show, hey, look, we can still play with this team. They have played an excellent game. There's just been some breaks that have went there against them. Schulenburg, a little bit flat, possibly a little bit flat. A big emotional win last week against Maynard on their homecoming. Out of town, probably a little bit flat, but the scoreboard just tells it all.
Third down and 1 for the Yoakum Bulldogs. They'll pitch to the left, flags go down. Douglas is hit, and the ball is fumbled and then picked right back up. It's going to be Mychek on the tackle, Brad Mychek. But flags went down. New numbers, Mychek is in there, Aaron Strick is in there, and Paul Garza is in on the defensive line. Joe Moore in the backfield. Everybody else pretty much the starters. Too many men on the field. Well, that's maybe why we had some new numbers and some of the old numbers didn't come out, Jeff.
Well, Coach Hoosman's getting some of these younger players some playing time. You love to see that. It pays off in the long run. Success breeds it when you get to play in the fourth quarter and the third quarter and these longer playoff seasons where you're getting this 4, 5, 6 weeks of extra practice. When these guys get to be seniors, they're having 5 or 6 years of practice possibly.
Well, with nothing but juniors and seniors on your team this year, which is the first in about 20 years for Schulenburg, you got to have to learn somewhere. It'll bring up a 1st and 10 from about the 11 with 46 seconds left. Schulenburg going to win this one. It just depends on how much the margin will be. Warren wants to throw, throws it out. The ball is tipped, and it goes incomplete. And it brings up a 2nd down now and a 10 from the 11. Ball was tipped at the line. The stat you're talking about, Jeff, what about the passing of Warren?
Well, he's hit him in the arms, in the hands a bunch of times. Credit Schulenburg's defensive backfield. 8 attempts, 22 yards. An excellent effort. That was a part of the key to the game to keep that passing game down.
2nd and 10. Clock stop, 36 seconds left. Handed off to Douglas. Douglas is going to get hit, and Strick may have stopped him from going into the goal line. He was hit originally by Bozel. He's going to be stopped at the goal line by Aaron Strick with 28 seconds left. The clock is stopped because it's going to be a 1st down. Douglas eluded the one tackle, but then was prevented from scoring at the goal line, and now it is 1st and goal. Player comes on late. They've got 12 men on the field. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 11. Okay. Warren will probably try to sneak it over. No, he just downs the football. Well, that's not bad. It is 33-6 in favor of Schulenburg. The clock is stopped with 22 seconds left. Second down and goal from the half-yard line for the Bulldogs. This is really academic. It's whether Jeff wins the office pool or if someone else with a different pick score wins the office pool. Second and goal. Michael Warren will turn, give it to Douglas. He will leap over. He will score. Give the homecoming crowd something to cheer about with 17 seconds left. Well, it looks better in the newspaper, that's for sure. But it doesn't really have much bearing on the game. With 17 seconds left in this ball game, Douglas scores from 1 yard. Bulldogs will probably go for 2 here. Why not? Now, if they could go for 22, they'd be in business, but that's not going to happen. They'll set in the eye. Warren, the quarterback, will sweep it. Douglas cuts outside, stumbles, didn't make it. Good job by that second-team defense as they prevented Douglas from reaching the goal line. So with 17 seconds left, it's now a 33-12 ball game. Schulenburg on top with the final 17 seconds yet to go. 17 ticks left on the clock. Shorthorns will probably prepare for an onside kick. Yoakum has nothing to lose by going for the onside kick. They will bring what appears to be the hands team up for the Horns. Jason Houston will be back deep just in case. And the Horns will set up in the 50 with some staggered about the 35, make the 40, and then 2 back deep to prepare for the, in all probability, onside kick from the Yoakum Bulldogs. Fikach has it teed up. This is when football gets fun. Just a 10-yard sprint, knock somebody on their can, and look for the football. Fikach has it teed. He kicked it deep. All right, the ball is fumbled. And the Shorthorns will keep possession with 13 seconds left on the clock. That's kind of a surprise.
Well, you can't get 22 points in 13 seconds. Whether risking an injury on a freak play, it's a smart play by the coach. It's conceding the ball game. Yeah, you don't want to give up all the way, but I'm with him.
Something to work on, though. It's different in practice and under the lights.
Exactly. You've got a good point there. You might need that later on in your season, and it would have been a good time to practice it right now.
Sarton's going to take the knee here, and the Shorthorns going to win this one 33-12. Stay tuned. We will have statistics for you. Sarton takes the knee, and this one's over. Schulenburg moves up to 4-0 on the year. They will keep their perfect season and their #1 state ranking with an impressive 33-12 victory over yet another Class 3A school, the Yoakum Bulldogs. And Jeff and I will be having some statistics for you, but first I want to tell you that these cablecasts are brought to you by Diamond S Restaurant, Foxfire Builders, J.O. Renner, 10th Frame Bowling Lanes, Audubon Travel Shop, Inco, Grumcheck Wagner Insurance Agency, Kelly and Doris Sarton, Schulenburg Livestock Auction Incorporated, Zimmerman's Garage, Schulenburg Printing and Office Supplies and Sports Specialties, Dan and Jill Tabor, Baumgarten Matula, Bruce and Cindy Bozel, 3D Bell Company, Charles and Gail Bout, Oakwood Smokehouse Restaurant, Tom and Dolores Sanders, Gallup Supermarket, Leo's Stop and Shop, Leo's Sheer Genius, and upstairs at the downstairs, Record Rack, Barry and Melissa Shepard, Gary and Laurie Bauer, Jean, Barbara, and Christine Gintert, Royce and Jeanette Kujay, Casper's Department Store, Frank Supply, Swanky Baumgarten Funeral Home, Schulenburg Glass, Schaller Engineering, Welborn Petroleum, Hillbank and Trust Company of Weimar, Waslavic Clinic and Pharmacy, Mr. B Fireworks, Polas Duncan Insurance Agency in Schulenburg and Weimar, Frank's Restaurant, Chuck Brown Ford, Double B Foods Incorporated, Bubba and Karen Deegan, Don Blancett, and Schulenburg Tires, that's Alfreda and Mildred Valenzuela. Scoreboard reads Schulenburg 33 and the Yoakum Bulldogs 12. And now, as we take a look back at the the meeting of the Schulenburg Shorthorns with their coaches, Jeff's going to give us all the stats. Jeff?
A well-rounded game on Schulenburg's part. I don't have my total yards, but we've got the rushing statistics. Houston, 17 carries, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wright, 5 carries, 16 yards. Raines, 5 carries, 12 yards. Anders, 2 carries for 4 yards. And Sarton, 3 carries for 18 yards. Yoakum Douglas, the workhorse, 25 carries, 227 yards.
Jeff, by far, he is the best back we have seen. Even better than, I think, the Williams kid last week from Manor. This Douglas kid can just flat out run.
Oh, his line has helped him tremendously open some holes. He has great vision from the backfield. He picked some holes, broke some nice tackles, and had an excellent game. 227 yards, that's outstanding. Suggs, the fullback, 2 carries, 0 yards. Caballero, the other fullback, 3 carries for 3 yards. Stuffed the fullbacks pretty good, but couldn't contain Douglas. Cliff, 1 carry for 1 yard. Warren, 5 carries for 7 yards. Passing, Sarton came in 8 for 15, 137 yards, 1 touchdown. Again, no interception, the big statistic. Warren, 3 for 9 for 22 yards, 1 interception. Receiving, Jackson for Schulenburg, 3 carries, 3 receptions, should I say, 54 yards. Bezetsny, 3 for 31, and some nice catches over the middle and so on. Marak, 2 catches for 61 yards. Soft hands for a big man running down the sidelines. Raines, 1 carry on the touchdown for 20 yards. A beautiful call play. And Yoakum side straight, 2 catches, 11 yards. Schillick, 1 for 11 yards.
Well, Jeff, as you total up the offense and for both squads, I'll tell you rundown of the scoring. In the second quarter, Jason Houston scampered in from 4 yards out. Shepard's kick made it 7-0. We stayed that way at the half. In the third quarter, 7:59 left. Sarton found Raines. And then the extra point no good, 13-0 Schulenburg. But on the next play after the kickoff, Douglas went 80 yards for Yoakum, and it made it a 13-6 after the point after touchdown was no good. 2:06 left third quarter. Wright, a 10-yard run. Shepard's kick made it 20-6. That was our third quarter score. In the fourth quarter with 8:14 left, Jason Houston was bottled up all night. He got loose on a 17-yard run. The PAT was blocked. It was 26-6. 4:29 left in the fourth quarter. Houston would bust it for 55 yards, put him over the 100-yard mark. Point after touchdown, no good. It was 33-6. Yoakum would score a touchdown with just 17 seconds left and a 1-yard run by Douglas, 33-12. And as we look at the scoreboard, that is our final score. As we look at the scoreboard, they've got the lights turned off. They didn't want to keep that one up there. Schulenburg had 333 yards against a team that was giving up an average of 151. Yoakum, 259 yards. Jeff, I guess the big key, the turnovers and the special teams play.
Exactly. Schulenburg capitalized where they had to. They weren't getting a lot of offensive push the first half. Yoakum came out with an outstanding drive tonight, try to get Schulenburg off guard. Excellent job making something happen where there's nothing to be had, whether it be special teams or anything. You got to hand it to them to find a way to win.
So once again, our final score in Yoakum, the Schulenburg Shorthorns 33 and the Yoakum Bulldogs 12. Thanks to all of our fine sponsors who make it possible for you to watch these games every Tuesday night on Channel 16. Don't forget, on Saturday afternoon, Shorthorns travel to Houston to take on Class 4A Houston-Wheatley in the final pre-district contest. Greg Eola has been our cameraman tonight, doing the job of giving you the great pictures as always. For Jeff Prosky, I'm Kevin Fishbeck. Horns are 4-0, number 1 in the state. They beat Yoakum 33-12. So long, everybody.